Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most revealing MMA interviews of the year.
I'm gonna bring him to the deep ocean.
The latest sit-down between Islam Makhachev and Brett Okamono on ESPN MMA. Seriously, if you haven't checked out the full video, you're missing out. Makhachev, always a competitor, but this time almost accidentally let slip some wild truths that every fight fan needs to hear. While going through it, I caught 15 moments where Islam just couldn't help but reveal secret insights, personal changes, and backstage drama you'd never expect.
It's bad. You have to call me UFC champion. But soon. This camp is really hard, I gain weight and become big,
So, let's break it down. Here's my take on 15 insane things Islam Makhachev revealed by mistake during his ESPN MMA interview. Before we jump in, I just want to say your support means everything to us. So please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to help us grow and keep bringing you awesome MMA content. First of all, the headline move, Islam's transition from lightweight to welterweight. Right out the gate, Brett calls out the weird feeling of Islam fighting as a challenger, not a champion in UFC 322.
And it feels weird not calling you a UFC champion. It just feels odd.
Islam quickly admits that this camp is the hardest of his career. He's not just facing a new opponent in Jack Della Maddalena, but his whole approach to training, dieting, and even his supplements has changed. Islam reveals that bulking up isn't easy for a UFC champ. He's been pounding creatine and protein like never before, eating double meals after every training.
Creatine, protein after every training. You try to eat more,
And yet, he confesses putting on real weight is one of the toughest things he's done. Gaining muscle while training twice a day feels nearly impossible. If you thought fighters could just magically add kilos and still compete at the highest level, Islam says, think again. We get a peek behind the curtain into just how serious his team is about nutrition. Islam's working closely with US nutritionists, checking in regularly for supplement updates and new strategies. He's so dedicated, he's even tracking his weight weeks out from the fight, hoping to walk around at 87 kilos before cutting down to 83.
I want to walk around 87 kg and fight week I want to be 83.
But here's the insane part. He reveals, almost by mistake, just how intense the camp is. He's never used creatine before, and now he swears by it, claiming it's changed his training, made recovery faster, and helped with that extra power he never felt before. At 65 pounds, Islam lays out just how miserable the weight cuts were. He jokes that he's actually happier now, saying, "All my life I had to think about what I eat. Now, prepping at a heavier weight, he feels free, enjoying food, eating what he wants, and focusing on happiness in his camp." He admits that at lightweight, every fight was at maybe 70–60% of himself due to the brutal weight cut. That's wild! For years, we all thought we were watching prime Islam, but he says he was only showing a fraction of his true potential. Then comes the truth bomb. He openly admits that anyone cutting 10 kilos or more never recovers to 100% for fight night.
10 kg, more than 10 kg, they never recover 100%.
He points out he was operating at fractions of his best, which, if you've ever watched his performances, means his future at welterweight could be unstoppable. He slips and shares his strategy for handling the bigger welterweight guys. It's not just about bulking up himself. Islam's entire roster of training partners has changed. Now he's sparring with guys heavier than 170, some up at 185. The transformation is so huge, he talks about reworking his approach with his coaches, mixing plans, and facing new styles. It's almost like he's prepping for a whole new sport, and if you're a fan, you know how tough that change can be. He's obsessed with creatine. It's like a mini advert for the science behind his training. Islam says, quite candidly, that it's the first supplement he feels really works, giving him faster recovery and obvious gains in power.
I use the creatine, use almost every day, and it's the first supplement which I feel something's changed, You recover very fast, help you to gain weight, and give you some power.
For anyone curious about elite-level supplementation, this is a rare public endorsement. But Islam also lets slip that mass alone won't win you fights. The struggle isn't only about muscle and power. It's about fighting strategy, recovering between rounds, and the endurance to go the distance in the cage. He even suggests that moving up in weight could finally allow him to show what he can really do in those championship rounds, since he's no longer ruined by brutal cuts. We finally get inside scoop on his upcoming opponent. Jack Della Maddalena. Islam admits he studied all Jack's fights, calling him one of the world's best strikers with fantastic boxing. But, and here's the kicker, he straight up says Jack's wrestling is weak. Islam's plan? Take Jack down and finish him on the ground. He's so confident about his grappling, it's almost scary. According to Islam, Jack might be great at escaping and defending, but when it comes to pure wrestling, he's not at the elite level. Of course, the camp wouldn't be complete without advice and nerves from Khabib. Islam reveals that Khabib's message is no secret, just take Jack down and dominate him there. Islam lets slip that he's bringing in new training partners specifically to match Jack's style. If you ever wondered how top gyms prepare for world title fights, now you know there's a full team effort, all pitted against replicating Jack's biggest strengths and weaknesses. Switching gears, Islam gets grilled about future fights, particularly Ilia Topuria and the ongoing lightweight drama.
And now I don't know who is going to be next for Ilia. I have good fights now, and I know he's going to fight soon, and we'll see.
He barely remembers who's next for Ilia, but he's got solid opinions on who deserves the next title shot. He's blunt. Arman Tsarukyan deserves it, not Paddy Pimblett. Islam even laughs off Paddy entirely, questioning who Paddy's beaten besides Tony Ferguson, and throws shade at Chandler's resume too. He admits, maybe accidentally, that for him and most of the division, Paddy isn't a serious challenge for Topuria. While talking about contenders, Islam points out that Tsarukyan is the real threat. Great striking, wrestling, and grappling. He rates Arman far higher than the hype machines, and says if Ilia beats Arman, then that's something the whole MMA world should respect.
Arman, it's like really big deal, you know. If he beat Arman, it's like...
As the conversation circles back, Islam gets fired up about the possibility of being a two-division champion, a double champ. He becomes animated, calling it the biggest challenge of his career, and dreams of joining that exclusive club of fighters who've held belts in 2 weight classes. You can feel his excitement for Madison Square Garden. He calls it the hardest camp of his life, and admits that accomplishing this is a lifelong dream.
It's the biggest fight for me in my career. It's the biggest fight, you know.
Then comes a touching admission about legacy. Brett asks the Khabib versus Islam question, and Islam gets animated. For him, breaking records isn't about beating Khabib. It's stupid to even compare them. He hasn't just followed Khabib's path. He feels he's creating a new chapter for their camp, all inspired by their late coach, Abdulmanap, whose legacy Islam says will be understood only years down the line. Helping others, creating new champions, that's what matters most to him.
It's all about Abdulmanap legacy, you know.
Islam reveals that fighting isn't just about himself. Whenever Khabib and others help him, it's about uplifting families, friends, the community. The big movie of their journey, as he puts it, is really about the coach's legacy, the impact and future they build for those who come after. He can't hide his respect and gratitude, saying it's all about Abdulmanap's legacy. Near the end, Islam gets real about what he misses most, his coach's presence in the cage on championship night. For all you fans used to seeing the epic walk-ins and celebrations, Islam's admission reminds us just how personal these moments are for fighters, especially those with deep-rooted bonds in their camps. He closes out acknowledging that Jack Della Maddalena might not be the sport's biggest superstar, but he's absolutely a worthy champion and a very real challenge. Islam jokes about being jet-lagged through camp.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now.
Training with crazy intensity, and even having to avoid snoring roommates to get enough rest. So there you have it. The interview is absolute gold, not just for technical details, but for the accidental admissions about training, struggles, and what really drives champions like Islam Makhachev. We caught everything from nutrition secrets to family aspirations, career regrets, and the insane hurdles behind becoming a double champ. If you want to understand what sets Islam apart, not just as a fighter, but as a person, these 15 revelations give you the full picture. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What was the most insane thing Islam revealed for you? Thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed this video and want to help us keep growing, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support truly makes all the difference. Drop a comment with your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.